Hey boys and girls, Miss Griggs here, and we are going to continue on working in our Your Turn practice workbook. And today we are going to be working on page 11. So you look for that 11 down at the bottom. Have someone help you if you need it. And we are going to continue introducing alphabet letters. And today we are going to do 4 new ones. And you may know them and you may not, and that's okay. We're going to remind you or introduce them. So we are looking at letter I, J, K, and L. I, J, K, and L. So I already wrote my name up here, but just to remind you, you are going to get your big fat kindergarten pencil and you are going to write your name the best that you can right up there where it says name. And we're going to do that every time and make sure that all our letters sit right on that line, okay? And remember, moms and dads, we are helping your students to write their name with only a capital at the beginning and all the rest lowercase, please, because that is the proper way to write their name. And as they get assessed, that is something that's counted if they have a capital at the beginning and all lowercase the rest, okay? Let's sing that alphabet because like I said, we need to make sure that we sing it every time we see it. All right, so we have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. And if you notice, like I've done the other times, we're going to point to each letter that we do. And I am going to grab a yellow because we are going to take our yellow crayon just like we did the other day and we are going to highlight the letters that we are going over. So our first letter that we're going to do is the letter I, and that was one of our sight words that we talked about here the past couple weeks of school. I. So I can be just a letter if it's part of a word, or I, especially capital I, can be a word that stands alone by itself in a sentence when we're talking about ourselves. And remember, that's why we said we capitalize it because it's about, we're talking about ourselves, we're talking about us, I, me, I, okay? We're important, so we capitalize it. All right, so let's sing until we get all the way to I, and then let's highlight it in yellow because we're going to do all our letters in yellow and all our sight words in green. And let me get a brighter yellow. I think this will be a brighter yellow. All right, here we go. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. So let's highlight that. And remember, highlight means that we're going to color over it, okay, just so that you could still see through it. All right. I'm going to use red as my first color today, so go ahead and get your red crayon, and let's take a good look at that I, and maybe even I can write it over here to make sure that we see it nice and big, what we're looking for. Here's our capital I, and then our lowercase I, so that's a little bit bigger for us to see while we're working up here. Okay, so I'm going to compare capital I, capital I, capital I. And just like I did the other times, I'm going to color very carefully. I'm going to try to stay in my flag here the best that you can with your red crayon, but color in the whole flag. Don't leave any white for me. Okay. And since I did that capital I in red, I want to find its partner, the lowercase I, in red also. So if I look at this one and I look at this one, this is a little tricky here because I see 2 letters with a dot at the top. But my lowercase I has just a short stick here down at the bottom with no curve. And if you look over here, this letter has a curve. We're not looking for a curve just yet. So this is the one I'm looking for, my lowercase I. And I'm going to color it red just like my capital because we want to show that they belong together. They are partners. We are learning about letter I together, the 2 parts. All right, there we go, capital I, lowercase I. All right, I'm going to go ahead and put my red away, and I'm going to grab a blue crayon, and I am going to look for the letter J next. Okay, so let me write that up here on the board so we see what we're looking for. J Looks just like this. Kind of looks like a little hook with a line at the top, and then the lowercase j is going to do the same thing, but if we had a line there, it would scoop underneath the line, and we'll talk more about that as we focus just on the letter J for a whole week, okay, how to form it better. All right, so let's sing that alphabet so that we can highlight the J up top. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. There's my J. I'm going to go ahead and highlight that one. Put my yellow down for a minute. And like I said, I was going to use my blue on that one. So I'm going to look here, make sure that the next one right after that I that we just did is in fact a J, because sometimes they trick us. Sometimes they don't put them in order. Okay, so we always have to make sure. We don't want to mess it up if we can help it. Okay, so there is my capital J. I'm going to look for my lowercase j. Okay, right underneath it, it does happen to be there. Has that dot on the top just like the lowercase I did, but it has that scooping, kind of looks like a hook or a little tail that hangs down underneath. Okay, so there are my two J's, capital J, lowercase j. Okay, my next letter that I'm going to look at, and I think I will use orange this time around, is the K, capital K and lowercase k. All right, so let me see if I can fit a K down here where we can see it. So capital K and K is a little tricky to make. You'll see as we study it more. They look almost the same except capital K, the whole letter starts up tall, okay? The long tall line where it is, and then how it kind of kicks in and kicks out, leans in, leans out, okay, it goes diagonally, and then the lowercase k has that tall stick, but the diagonal part here, the slanted line, comes down to only the middle area and then kicks back out at the bottom. So that's how they're just slightly different. Okay, so let's go ahead and sing until we can highlight the K. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K. So there it is, capital K, lowercase k. We're going to go ahead and highlight those in a row there. And I'm going to take a look at my K here, take a look at my K here, and I'm going to match it to that K right there and make sure I've got the right letters. I'm going to do my best coloring over it, so I can still see the K underneath there. Capital K. And if we look down here, we compare them. Yes, the lowercase k is right underneath it. Okay, there we go. I, J, and K. We have one more letter that we're going to do today to introduce, and we're going to use green to do that one. All right, and that is the letter L. So let me go ahead and make an L, and I'm going to make it right. I'm going to pull this a little closer to me, and I'm going to make it right next to my I. So capital L goes like this, tall stick, and then has a line at the bottom. And then my lowercase l is just one straight stick down just like that. Okay? All right, so we are going to look for it. Up top, we are going to sing until we find it. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L. I'm going to go ahead and color that. And if I look carefully at it, it matches the one that I made over here. And then lucky me, I must have done the other ones right because those are my two flags that are left. And those are the ones that I am going to do in this green, the dark green color here. So I'm going to color my capital L up top first. Making sure not to leave any white spots if I can help it. Strengthening my grip on my pencil or crayon. Okay, by coloring neatly and nicely. And I'm going to go right underneath, and if I'm not sure about it, I can always check my other L's that I made there. And it does look the same. Looks like a tall straight stick to me. And I'm going to go ahead and color. That's the same green color as my capital letter L to show that they match. They are partners. Capital and lowercase. Alrighty. IiJjKl. Now what I'm going to do is join those with their same color to show that they do match. I'm going to take it that one step further. They're in the same color, but I'm going to match them. So I'm going to match my uppercase or my capital I with my lowercase I. And I'm going to go ahead and draw a nice red line that goes there to match them. And then my next color was blue that went with my J. So I'm going to go ahead and join them by the same blue line that I colored them with. And my next color was orange, so I'm going to do my K's just like that right there. And join them in orange. Nice thick orange line there to show that they belong together. And my last one, my capital L and lowercase l, I will join in green since I used green to color them in. All right, and I have them highlighted, have my name, did a nice job. I even colored around it. You could do that too for extra practice with your hand if you'd like to. All right, and that's it, the introduction of I, J, K, and L.